You're Rana, and welcome to FM Tahiti. I hope you're all doing well. We've got to the end of the season. Obviously, we've won the OCL, which was nice. But we've got a few things to cover just in terms of what's happened elsewhere, and also things like awards, any kind of changes to finances, stuff like that. We've got a bit to cover. There'll be no matches in this one, but we will have a match coming up soon, because the first thing we should probably cover is the fact that... Just search for it here, actually. Will Shang bring it up? So apparently the preliminary round of the Club World Championship is played in June, which I didn't realise. I thought it wasn't until December. So we've been drawn against Shanghai SIPG, which I have no idea what that means. But they're worth 342 million. And we're not. We're worth £100,000. Which is nice. So playing Shanghai, key player includes Oscar of Chelsea. The captain's Hulk, amazing. Yeah. Who else have they got? Oh, they've got Marko Natovic. Not bad. Toby Alderweireld. Mario Rue. Thomas Monier. Don't know who that is. David Silver, is that? That is the David Silver, isn't it? Yep, there we go. And some actual Chinese players. Not too many though. So we've got to play them. So we'll do that separately. It's just one match against them. I think we know how that one's going to go, but we get to play it. It'll be interesting to see if we get any kind of financial benefit from playing it. We're playing at the Guangdong Olympic Sports Centre, so I wonder if we share the gate receipts maybe. That'd be good if we did. Or if we get any TV money for it. In fact, schedule-wise, is it on TV? It doesn't say it is. It might get put on TV. But yeah, we've got that to look forward to. So we'll do another episode for that probably after this one. So we'll have Roundup now. Then we'll go and play against Shanghai. And then the next one after that will probably be the start of the next season. So this is the Polynesian Island Premiership. Manuel won it, which we already knew. It went down to points. To equal points, so he was on games against teams or results against teams first, and Manuel beating Tetaroa. So even though Tetaroa's goal difference was better, they won it. We finished third with fewer points than we had done in previous seasons, but we got there in the end. We beat Taha in the very last game of the season to kind of secure third place. Again, really, because last season. Well, last season we had fourth. This season we've improved by getting third, but our points hasn't actually improved. In terms of what else is going on this season, Papite and Nukuhiva Spearheads are going down. Spearheads have been down for a while. They only finished with 9 points, which was pretty bad. Papite got dragged down in the end, and they lost in the relegation playoff against Jupiters. So, Jupiters will be coming up. If you look at awards as well, we've got a few awards to look at. So, Race Self, Manager of the Year wasn't us, but Yannick Janin did get second. We were runners-up in that one. We're only a point away from there. Also, we're kind of drawing with Rory and Tupai as well. But Maori Chong, the Manuel Society Manager, has beaten us to that goal. Player of the season is Matias Martinez with his 33 goals. Then Andy Valette, who's also pretty decent, with 22 goals. And then Remy Delvigne, who was more of a kind of assist machine for that one. Fair Play Award, given out to Sky Brights. It was never going to be us. Rookie of the Year, Valate, then Brian Texiera, and Anis Garnier as well, who looks like he could be really good. We're trying to scout him actually to see if we can maybe lure him over. Sunshine Boot, which is just the golden boot. You got Martinez, Valette, and then Teixeira. Killing Casanova, who won it last season, isn't in the running for it because he left, went on a free, and he's off playing in Saudi Arabia. So we'll see what happens to these lot. Goal of the season. Let's have a look, shall we? Thumping effort from long range. None of our players are on there. Let's just look at the best ones. This is Mariri Karika. I've not actually looked at this one, so I've no idea whether it's actually any good, but we'll give it a go. Super Slummer, Anglet, Karika. He's quite far out, isn't he? It is good. I'm pretty sure I've seen better, but that one was pretty good. We'll give him that. Apparently we got last year's on there as well. That's basically the Premiership sorted. We go down into the Championship. We've got the Mangareva Shellfish coming up. They're clear with 60 points. 11 clear of Jupiters, who won in the playoffs. So 2 new teams coming up. Bora Bora and Maya, who got relegated the season before, haven't managed to bounce back up, which is a little bit tough for them. It's going to be hard for them to get out now, I think. In the Development Gold, AS Chance won the title. So they're going up. They beat San Pedro 4-0 comfortably. So AS Chance, they're kind of like the academy team. They've got the best facilities. So they produce some really good players, including a couple that we've got on loan. So we might see if we can try and raid them for a few players if we can do. But they're going up in the world as well. And then let's go down into the silver. So right at the top here, we've got the Rangiroa Sharks. So the other teams, this is the teams promoted from the unplayable kind of lower leagues up and won the title first time of asking, because I guess they've got a full kind of senior squad compared to the under-23s they're mainly playing. Jersey Nicholas got a thumpingly good 27 goals in 28 appearances. He's wanted by the Humpbacks. Technically he's also wanted by us as well. I reckon their team's going to get completely raided. I mean, they've won 2 trophies. They're one of the few teams who enters 2 different sort of local, regional trophies. So they've got a little bit of silverware building up there. The Hangavines also got promoted because they were the next highest fully senior team, because they're all under 23s. And Morpeo being relegated, so it'll be interesting to see who gets promoted next, whether it's one or the other and previously kind of unplayable senior teams, or whether one of the under 23s that got relegated last season pops back up. Inter-Island Cup was won by the Eels against the Humpbacks, 2-0. Super Cup at the start of the season was won by the Skybrights. Windward Isle Pride Trophies won by the Rangiroa Sharks, which is a bit of a surprise. Leeward Isle Pride Trophies won by Motu 1, who kind of were pretty mid-table in the Premiership. They beat AS Chance, who were on the up. Rangiroa Sharks beat the Humpbacks to win the Mutiny Pride Trophy as well. We didn't do very well in that. And the Youth Cup was won by the Skybrights on the 23s. You can see the Skybrights are getting some silverware stacked up. And those are kind of the main things. Other things to consider in terms of like up and coming players. If we look at the awards for the Gold League, the Gold Star winner, so the best under 23 player, the Development Gold, is Penny Feivailo, who's one of our players. He doesn't actually look amazing, but he scored 11 goals. We go down into the silver. There's a silver star. This is Renu Tehau, who's a real player that the Rangiroa Sharks managed to get hold of. And Andy Valette, who is one of the kind of Premiership rookies, won the silver one the year before. So we might see Renu Tehau come through as well. If we go back and look at the Premiership, we look at some of the kind of team stats. I'm not too bothered about the kind of general form, headers won, that kind of stuff, the match ones. I'm looking more at the kind of more club ones. So the average attendance, the highest average attendance was Papite, got relegated with 495. Then Hitiraa, then Humpbacks, Manuea, Tupai. We were 6th, so just above mid-table for that, 337 being our average, 6-7% of our capacity. No sellouts for us, nobody managed any sellouts there. Uaheen, Mopia getting some quite low attendances. The highest attendance outside of the averages was Skybrights. So these are a few of the teams who've got stadiums that are a little bit more than the kind of 500 capacity that most start out as. In terms of net transfer spend, Taha spent a bit of money. Humpbacks technically did. We made a bit of money from selling off a few players. In terms of salary per annum, us and Hitiraa spent big in comparison to most of the ones, but didn't manage to get the title. Title winners, Manuea down here, actually didn't spend that much money. So it's a little bit worrying for us. And in terms of transfers this year as well, one of the kind of biggest ones is we sold Nicholas Seau to San Pedro for quite a bit. And he's done okay, he's still rated reasonably highly, but 28 grand was too much to kind of turn our noses up at. That's the kind of biggest one so far, really, the past few seasons. That's the record signing still. If we look at things on the kind of international stage, so there's some World Cup qualifying currently going on. So you got Tahiti in the same group as New Zealand and Vanuatu, and then Tuamotun, Gambier and Austral Islands in this other group. And whoever finishes in the top positions will play off against each other for a place in the World Cup. So probably New Zealand, it's not going to be Tahiti by the looks of it. One of the other islands might get a shot at that. If we look at general schedule as well, just look at the Atoll Championship, or Atoll Championship. Tuamotun Islands won it this season, and then Bass Islands, and again Tahiti didn't quite manage it. They should really be the favourites to be winning this internationally, but they've not managed it at all. Their world ranking has gradually improved, but not by a huge amount. I think most of the teams have gradually improved their kind of world ranking, at least by a little bit. Apart from actually the Austral Islands have gone down, but some gradual improvements there. So that's all the competitions, really. If we look at what's going on with our club, we've got our OCL, which was nice. We're favoured personnel now. We're worth about 100 grand, but our facilities are still fairly terrible. If we look at finances, we managed to get a bit more money in, so we got about 65 for winning the OCL, about 30 for winning, 30 for where we finished in the league, and then got about another 30 for participation in the Under-23 league and in the Premiership, which is general participation money, which has wiped out a reasonable chunk of the debt. We're still spending too much on wages. We're still in the red. That's only going to get worse. The projections aren't healthy projections as things stand. And if we look at facilities, We're still in our 500-seater, everything's still fairly basic or below average or average, and not much has gone on there. We don't really have the money to ask for it as things stand. In terms of club visions, we've signed a new contract. Club culture, they want us to play attacking football. They're happy with that. Or they're satisfied. It's enough for now. We make the most set pieces, we do score a lot from that. We play high tempo pressing football, they're happy, but they're unhappy that we're struggling with the wage budget. Disappointed that we're not signed players to sell for a profit, but that's kind of, there's not much money going on in the league, there's not much we can do with that. The next one is expand the stadiums. The board have plans to expand it, but they're not judging us on that, and nothing's actually been done. There's nothing in the board requests or anything like that, so they've not done it yet, but I'm wondering if we'll get some kind of announcement about that soon. Otherwise, it's all looking good. What they want us to do at the end of next season, though, is win the Polynesian Island Premiership, so this is where it's kind of crunch time. You've got to do well in the league next season to try and keep on top of this. I have a feeling they'd be, unless we get some more silverware in, or get a bit of money in, I think they'd probably be happy with letting us go when our contract expires if we don't seriously challenge for this. So that's the most important thing for us to be looking at. In terms of the squad as well, I think the squad's reasonably decent. We've not got a huge amount of depth in certain positions like goalkeepers, but we do have some youth players coming through. In defence, we've got a few promising players. The key thing's going to be seeing if we can keep hold of Armentier or find another good central defender as a replacement. We probably need a bit more depth in there. Same with defensive midfielder, we've got Renard, but Nasir and Huatahi aren't great understudies for him. I'm happy on the right with Tuafangaloka and Lacau, and I'm happy on the left with Esiku and Morris. Happy with Tavita playing in that attacking midfielder role, so he can also push up into the strike box if he needs to be. And I think Viakite is a good understudy, although he's still quite young. Riviera's been good as well. If we can keep hold of him, either extend his loan or if his contract's running down, get him in, that would be good also. And then up front, I'm pretty happy with Tahoni and Akatapu. We might be able to bring in a youth striker that we've got to kind of compete. We didn't really give Vea much of an opportunity, but when Tahoni scored 26, and he was the top goal scorer in the OCL as well, for example, and Vakatapu's got 22, I'm not worried about that. So I think there's a few areas we can improve, but there's no massive gaps. It's probably more about depth to make sure we can fight on more fronts. Maybe get a bit more in the way of silverware, even if it's minor, just to kind of add to the team's winning ways. But I'm pretty happy with that season. I think we've done all right. It was disappointing that we kind of threw things away here and there. A couple of results going our way, and we could have at least snuck into the French Cup, which would be nice. On the last day of the season, Hitiraa beat the Spearheads soundly. So it didn't really matter in the end. It was that we'd thrown it away because they were going to win that last one. That was always going to happen. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way things are going. In terms of any weak spots in the squad, we scored 60. Only 2 teams scored more than us, and it was only 3 goals more than us. That's Manuel and Hitiraa. They've got some very good players. In terms of goals against, Hitiraa had a better defence. Huahine had a better defence. But that was about it, really. So our defence is okay. Our attack's pretty good. It's just squeezing out a little bit more. Making sure that we beat these other teams. Because if we look at the teams, it's an easy way, isn't it? If we look at the teams we lost to, we only lost 8. We lost to Hitiraa twice. We lost to Manuel. And let's see, if we won one of those ones against Hitiraa, we'd have been on 55, they'd have been on 54. If we won another one against Manuel, then we'd have won a title. That's the kind of tight margins we're talking about. So that's what we're going to work on for next season. But we've got the kind of mid-season to play Shanghai, see if we get any money, see if our rep changes anymore, and then see if we can bring any interesting players in. There's a few that we're keeping an eye on, but when we look at kind of the players who are interested, we sort it by how recommended they are. There are a few highly rated players, even though they don't all look amazing, but Delavine was third place for one of the Player of the Year awards. Thierry Martelli's amazing. Really good pressing forward. Matis Martinez, he's the one who won that Player of the Season award. Had 33 goals. I don't think we've got currently the wage budget or anything like that to get them in, but I'm going to be trying. I'm going to come back and have a look at them. I'm happy with our strike force, but if I can sort of shed some of the budget, work things out, and see if I can get some of these proven good players in, I will do. And if I can't get them in, I'll go for some kind of budget ones like Josie Nicholas instead, who might be a bit easier to get from Rangiroa. Christopher Copin looks like he could be potentially quite good. Bring some loan players, just get a bit more depth in. I've rambled on, so if you've managed to make it all this way, thanks very much. The next episode will be us playing Shanghai. Thanks very much for watching.